Lab for a smarter you. Up next is my conversation with Faith Enilama. She's a DevOps engineer. She's a woman in tech. She came by our studios and I had a conversation with her to find out how she is coping as a woman in tech. This is how the conversation went. So how did this journey start? I mean, have you always dreamt, probably from age in your mother's womb, that you were going to go into technology, you were going to be a techie, a tech girl, a tech geek?
No, funny thing, my first degree is in biochemistry, and it was never an option. Tech was really not there, but I liked it, just the fact that technology makes things quite easy. But I never had the intention that I was going to go into tech until after like my 200 level, and then also when I started work I felt this wasn't what I wanted to do, and then I think at 3 years into my job I decided that I needed to make that switch, and I was able to.
So what was going through your mind? Did you just jump to become a DevOps, or did you go for a course? Did you study something? How did you get there?
Yes, it was scary, to be honest. It was so scary because I had to quit my job. I think that was last year. And I told myself, how was I going to cope? Where do I even start from? There was a lot of things I needed to learn. But I gave myself a space of like 6 months. Then that, let me learn for 6 months. It was a lot of study, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of, I wasn't sure. I couldn't even believe in myself at some point. Will I do this? Should I just stop? I wanted to give up at some point. Sometimes I cried, to be honest. Like, did I do the right thing leaving my job? But I don't think that I've had any regrets since then. For me, I think all through the journey, I've had amazing experiences. And I think one thing that also really helped me was the fact that I had passion for what I wanted to do. So it wasn't just tech, it was something I loved. It's something I would wake up in the middle of the night and I want to study. It wasn't work to me, and that really did help me at every point in time. And then most importantly, I think for people see tech as a means to an end. And I want to end poverty. I want to make so much money. But I think it should be way more than that. It should be, what do you really want to do? Who are you? First of all, you have to know yourself. Is there a bit of passion for what you're trying to do? What problems are you trying to solve? Because there's a lot of gaps in the technology field, to be honest. And we have way more men in that field than women. And I felt if I could also be an inspiration, right, to a lot of other women who didn't know how to even get started, or who felt like, no, this thing is not for me, it's a man's thing. There is nothing like a man's thing.
How does it feel now being a DevOps engineer?
So I think that has been an amazing journey. Most importantly, waking up in the morning, because I work from home, so that even makes it better. That's one of the nicest things about being in the tech space. You can get to work remotely. So I wake up in the morning, typical day, brush my teeth, take my laptop, attend meetings and deploy applications. I'm speaking with the dev team, I'm speaking with the CTO team. So it's like, Faith, this is what you really want to do. Sometimes I even can't believe it that I'm doing it. But yes, I am. And it's been a dream come true. And for me, I think it can also happen for every other person, right? I sit down and now I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn. Faith, how did you do it? Even those that have been in the field for a long time, how were you able to do it? How did it work for you? What did you do in that short period of time and able to excel? Even for me, I became an AWS community builder, Amazon community builder, which just 5 people in Nigeria got it, and I was opportunity to get one. So people just keep calling and asking questions about how, and it's exciting to get this kind of messages, to be a mentor to a lot of other people. Although I still have mentors, that works, but also being the mentor in my own little way, I think it's been an amazing journey for me.
So when you wake up in the morning, all you do is punch codes in your computer. Is that all you do?
That's all I do, and a lot of meetings too, because You need to know a lot of strategy, know what the client wants, brief, and all of that. But press computer mostly. The hands are all there doing the job, and it's really amazing. I think anybody who is in the tech space will understand that love and that passion that you get to wake up in the morning and you get to do what you love to do.
Let's talk about coding before I go into how women are viewed and treated in a man's world, tech world, of course. A lot of girls run away from tech-related functions and roles because of coding.
Trust me, the first time I saw a Python code, I'm like, no, this is not for me. This is not for me. And I saw a lot of other things I needed to learn first. I was like, this is not for me. But I think it gets easier. Yes, it gets easier. At first, it all looks confusing because that's not what you're used to. But it gets easier. And especially for people who didn't do computer science in school, right? I did some diploma courses and took some other trainings which helped me. But for those people who didn't, when I saw it, it all looks like jargons, but it's easy. Constant practice, at least daily constant practice, and a lot of motivation. So it's possible. So please don't get scared. It doesn't get that scary, to be honest. It's possible.
So there are articles I've read online that are saying one of the must-have skills for the 21st century is coding. Must everybody learn how to code?
No, which is what I said previously. There are some fields in IT you do not need to learn how to code. You can just maybe understand how it works, but you don't even need to get to the intermediary level of it, because you might probably be working with some tech guys. If you're a software engineer, for example, or a website engineer, or whatever it is, you probably might need to. It's compulsory for such fields. But other fields like maybe a business analyst, in cybersecurity, yes, you learn some sort of coding, but like a business analyst do not have to, a scrum master do not have to. So there are like other fields in tech that you don't have to. But if you're looking at an engineer, a development kind of role, then yes, you need to, and it's compulsory, really compulsory.
From your woman working in a man's world, what is it like?
It's a lot of, are you really learning IT? Questions that I get every single time. Like, this is a man's world. And even in my groups, when I join communities, there are way more men. There was the first DevOps NG conference that I attended. I think they were like 90% men. And I sat and I was looking, is this not a woman's thing? It doesn't mean that a woman can't do it. I think it's just the stereotype that people have placed into IT and engineering being a man's world, but it's not. I mean, we still have the same head and the same brain that they have, so it's possible, and we always excel. My mentor is a female. Her name is Mojisola, and I met her in a DevOps group. She replied to my message. I did not know. I was like, "You are a lady?" That was my first impression. Like, when she replied my message, "You are a lady? Oh, so there are ladies in this field." So I think we get a lot of that, but it is interesting. Sometimes I feel like a princess because everybody just gives you that attention, like, oh, she's in tech, she must be brilliant, she must be this. It's tough, and I understand why people say it, because it's really tough, except you're consistent in that field. And, we ladies lose a lot of focus sometimes, with a lot of things going on. So except you're focused, you know what you are doing, and you want to make an impact, yes, of course, you can always be there. It's possible.
It's so nice to hear women speak from the other side of the point of view, but so many women are also saying that the deck is stacked against women in technology, especially women in color in technology. Do you agree with that?
I think if you had said this 20 years ago, or maybe even 5 years ago, because things have really changed. And there's a lot of support now. So there's even a Udacity scholarship that I won called Blacks in Technology. Women, Blacks in Technology. So there's a lot of support going on now.
Wow. On that note, I'll say thank you so much, Faith, for this beautiful conversation.
Tech Hub, for a smarter you.